Good morning, students. Welcome to English class. So, we'll continue with our chapter, The Ashes That Made the Trees Bloom, on page number 57. Thus, in an hour, the old couple were made rich. See, where the dog took the old man, from there he found a gold. From there he found gold that was dug inside the earth, and in few hours they were rich now. Okay, they found so much gold, no? So they became rich. The good souls bought a piece of land. What did they do? They bought a piece of land. Instead of wasting the money, they thought of investing the money. So they bought a piece of land. Made a feast for their friends. They organized a little feast. Feast means dawat. Little feast they organized for their friends. Okay, because it was a good news, no? So they wanted to celebrate it with their friends. And gave plentiful to their poor neighbors, and they gave lots and lots of money. They gave to the neighbors, the poor neighbors who were in need of money. As for the dog, they petted him till they nearly smothered him with kindness. See, and they petted him because the dog was the one who found that place, no, where the gold was hidden. So they loved the dog for his kindness, and they treated him like his son, no? So the dog was also so much affected to them. That's the reason he helped them. Okay. Now in the same village there lived a wicked old man and his wife. In the same village there lived a wicked means bad people. His old man and his wife both were bad, not a bit sensitive and kind, and they weren't sensitive and not at all kind. They're very cruel. Who had always kicked and scolded all dogs whenever any passed their house. And what they used to do, whenever any dog used to pass their house, they always used to kick him, hurt the dog. They never have that kind of love, affection, kindness in them. Hearing of their neighbors' good luck, they coaxed the dog into their garden. Now what happened? When they heard that the neighbor is become rich, their neighbors, the old man and his wife, the good one. So what they did? They bought the dog forcefully. They bought. The dog was also afraid of them because he knew that they were very cruel. So they bought the dog in their garden and set before him bits of fish and other dainties, hoping he would find treasure for them. And what did they do? They tried to impress the dog by putting fish bits in front of him, giving him tasty food. They thought that if we do this, then the dog will help us also in finding the gold treasure, like he helped the old man and the woman, the good ones. Okay. But the dog, being afraid of the cruel pair, would neither eat nor move. Now the dog was afraid of that cruel couple, because animals have the sense, they can feel from the humans whether that human is good or bad. The love they get from the humans, they can sense it. Okay, so he could sense that they're not good people, they're bad. Then they dragged him out of the door, taking a spade and hoe with them. Now what they did, they dragged him forcefully. They took the dog with them and took a hoe and a spade with them, so that wherever the dog is taking, if he finds something, they'll dug from there. The same the good old woman and old man did. No sooner had the dog got near a pine tree growing in the garden, then he began to paw and scratch the ground as if a mighty treasure lay beneath. Now what happened? Very soon, the dog, nearby in the garden, he started beginning to scratch under a pine tree. Okay, like it was scratching as if there was something hidden inside. A treasure was hidden. Treasure means something, a gold, some kind of money or something very valuable is hidden beneath. Quick, wife, hand me the spade and hoe. cried the greedy old fool as he danced with joy. Now what happened when he saw the dog doing all that thing, no, scratching and all, so what, they became very happy. Now they thought that okay, the dog has found some treasure. So he quickly asked his wife that hand me over this hoe and this spade, and he started dancing. He didn't know what is there beneath the, but still he started dancing because the dog started scratching. So they thought that okay, now we have also got gold. Okay, then the courteous old fellow with a spade and the old crone with a hoe began to dig. Now what did they do? Greedy people, no, they are. So what did they do? They started digging. Okay, greedy old fellow. Courteous means greedy old people. They started digging in the earth, but there was nothing but a dead kitten. But nothing they found. What did they find from there? A dead kitten was it, the smell of which made them drop their tools and shut their noses. And the smell which was coming out from the dead cat was a very bad smell. So what did they do? They dropped their hoe and spade and they covered their nose because a bad smell was coming. Furious at the dog, the old man kicked and beat him to death. Now what did that old man do? He was already cruel. Now he got angry that instead of taking us to the treasure, he has taken us to a place where there was a dead kitten hidden. So he was very angry and he beat the dog so hard, nearly the dog died. And the old woman finished the work by nearly chopping off his head with the sharp hoe. And see how cruel and bad these people were. What did they do? The man beat him to death. Means dog wasn't dead, but almost it was dead, but was still breathing. And to finish off the work, to kill him, what did that old woman do? She chopped off the head of the dog. Means with that sharp hoe, she separated the head and the body of the dog. See how cruel people can be. Greedy people are always like this. When they don't get what they want, they start harming people. They then flung him into the hole and heaped the earth over his carcasses. What did they do? Then they buried him in that hole and put his dead body inside that hole and covered it. The owner of the dog heard of the death of his pet and mourning for him as if he had been his own child, went at night under the pine tree. Now the owner of the dog heard about the death of his dog, and they started mourning because they treated a dog as their own son, no? So if a family member dies, it hurts, especially when somebody else has harmed our family members. So they had treated that dog as their own child, and the dog was now dead. So he was mourning, he was very sad, crying. And then he went under that pine tree that night where the body of the dog was buried. That night the old man went there, and then what did he do? He set up bamboo tubes in the ground such as are used for tombs, in which he put fresh flowers. Now what he did, he put some bamboo sticks around that grave of the dog and put fresh flower in which fresh flowers are put. Then he laid a cup of water and a tray of food on the grave. Now what did he do? He laid a tray of food and cup of water for that dead dog. Several costly sticks of incense. Incense means in Hindi it is known as agarbatti. Okay, so that it could smell nice from there, because they loved him, no, they treated him as their own son. So he was very sad, and he was doing all that we do for humans. He mourned a great while over his pet, calling him many dear names as if it was alive. And he was calling the dog with so many names as if the dog was alive. And he couldn't bear that pain, because it's his dog he treated like his son, no, and the dog was no more, now it was dead. So he's very sad, and he did all this to make the dog's spirit feel comfortable. Means he wanted the spirit to be happy, not to be sad. He did all that things around his grave. So the next part we'll read in the next video. Thank you.